I swear to God, it trips me out so much is how that looks like it's light outside. But if you look at the window, it's dark outside. Like it's so dark. I don't know. It's so weird. And another weird thing is like before when I used to talk, it was like all morning long they would start filling my head up with stuff, and then it would be like, oh my God, I gotta burst, I gotta freaking go talk. And lately it is like, we're not even gonna tell you, we're just gonna start talking. You're just gonna have to just wait and see. We don't know what you're gonna talk. It's weird. It's like I have no clue what the hell I'm gonna talk about. And it still is like, you just go talk and they'll just tell you as you go. But you don't feel prepared at all. So anyways, who knows? I don't have a fucking clue what I'm going to talk about. And one thing though is I've been doing the diatomaceous earth for a couple days. And I swear to God, I can't even believe how many things pop up on my thing all the time about these parasite cleanses. And then plus when I start like focusing on the feelings inside my body, it's like, what the fuck? And some of this stuff, like I saw somebody the other day and they just went and got all these blueberries and they're washing them and eating them and stuff. And there was, so then they start showing there's worms crawling out of them. I was like, fuck, I have a whole bunch of blueberries and I just put them in the freezer and I just pull them out and put them in a smoothie. And I think, okay, don't freak out about like if we're eating worms in every motherfucking thing that we have, because it is, the worms should die. I swear to God, the parasites are microscopic when they start. Like, what the hell is coming out of people? Like, this is what's tripping me out. Because to me, so the girl was showing the worms on the blueberries. And then she's like, no wonder we're full of worms. You got to do your parasite cleanses and stuff like that. And so then, I'm stressing about like, oh, motherfucker. And, I have, I used to have this big cherry tree. It was a pie making cherry tree. When I first moved to Washington State, I had this one in my yard. And, I was all, I mean, you're different people through different parts of your life. And so I was kind of like into being a stay-home mom and baking pies and stuff like that. And sewing clothes. Like I was all into that kind of stuff. And so I would make these big pies. I had this really cool cast iron pan that was huge. It was a pan. It was a huge frying pan. And I would make these giant ass pies in it off of that cherry tree. And everybody would love them. Oh my gosh, they were really good. And so then I don't know what it was. One of the times, something with the cherries, all of a sudden there was all these worms. And I was like, oh my God, how many worms? Because how do you get them out of cherries and blueberries unless you like cut them all or dig them out or something? So cherries, some with the seeds. And so you can pop the seeds out, but that doesn't mean all of the worms come out with it. And so, anyways, it was just a whole thing about like eating those worms. And you think, okay, well, they've been cooked. Like, I mean, they're feeding us worms all the time. So we eat a lot of worms. We've eaten a lot of bugs. We've eaten a lot of rat shit. We've eaten so much gross ass shit. It's not funny. But they put flavor on it. So, and then, but anyways, with those worms, so it really grossed me out back then. Like, I don't even know why that keeps coming into my head about the worms. I feel so nauseous right now. This is so fucking ridiculous. God damn. So the, like some of these worms, like I just, it's like you can't just sit and panic over everything because we've been eating worms for a long time and fruits and vegetables and like, I don't even know. Somebody even just bought lettuce the other day and there was a frog in it. I have definitely gotten lettuce before and there being bugs in it. Not a frog. I've seen a crab come out of a can of tuna at this point. I've seen frogs come out of lettuce. So, and lots of worms coming out of fruit. But the thing is I don't think those are the worms that go inside of us and live. I think those worms would, I don't know, like, I mean, you can chop up a worm and it would just grow into more worms. Like if you chop up a worm and you put it in your smoothie, does it just grow into 100 new worms inside of you? I swear to God, I don't know. And, but it's weird to think about. And, the thing is this one girl who I just saw doing a cleanse. And so she was talking about that she's like 48 hours into her cleanse, and she's her sister has Lyme disease. She thinks she has Lyme disease. So many people have so much shit. And so her question was, how in the holy hell is 2 days into her cleanse that she goes to the bathroom and she sees a live worm in the toilet swimming around, and it came out of her urethra. And she said it was a little black worm, and it went into the toilet and started swimming around, and then it went over and attached onto the side of the toilet like a sucker fish or something. So, of course, she's weirded out because it came out of her urethra. And it's like, it's holding on in there for dear life. And it makes me think about the sensations going on inside my body. It's like I've said, all these different cleanses, and it seems like that there's still stuff living inside of you. And but whole worms, because like I've seen a lot of people talking about getting these worms out and stuff, but a whole worm, like I don't know, because I thought parasites were more microscopic, but then how do they grow into big ones? But then how do live worms live inside of the ecosystem? Like, I have no idea about some of this stuff. It's just fucking weird. And so then today I'm like, okay, I am doing a fast. Because she kept saying, you got to do your fasting, the fasting. A lot of people keep saying that. And they keep even going back to the Bible. You got to do a fast and stuff like that. So I'm trying to do one today. I've only had some tea. And so I'm going to try and just do tea and water, maybe a smoothie or something. I'm going to try. But I don't know, because of I guess the parasites inside of me, they just start demanding food, and they just make me get really sick and nauseous and make me feel super weak. And so I'll just feel like I'm going to puke. And I don't know, is it the worms? Is it my own mind? I don't know. But I'm going to try today to do a fast most I can. And I don't know. It's a whole of our own journeys. I saw this one girl, she was so excited, and she was talking about, the game of life. It is about the mastery. And she said, all these people keep talking about they want to escape the earth, escape the matrix. It's not about that. It is about, as you expand, it's the mastery of this place that we are learning about. I was like, oh, I was so excited to see, you see more and more people have it click in. But she was comparing it to the Sims, and that in the Sims, they would have like this, I don't remember if she called it a mastery word or something, where you would get extra points or something. I don't know. Sims was not, I was too old to be playing that stuff. My kids played that. And so I don't know how the game works. I know more how this game works. And I can see, like, how in the same idea of how you gain points and all that stuff in a game. Like, I see how that works in our life. And I see how it is us, it is the mastery. It is gaining control over the game instead of being victim to the game. It is gaining your control and understanding that you have control. And I saw another person who was talking about comparing this to Fortnite. And how are they? Because it was interesting what they were saying. Because it was something about in Fortnite, I don't know, something about you battle and then you go into, oh, something about the character. You play a character, and then once that game is completed, you go into the waiting space until you have another scenario or something to go play out or battle with. And that is, he was saying it's like reincarnation, because the avatar goes in, plays the game, then that ends, so it goes and waits at the waiting area, the heavens, and then it goes into another one and another one and another one. And that is what I was saying. That is what reincarnation is more like. People get too much, like, they put too much into it. But that goes with the flesh and blood, and you're sitting around waiting, to plan your next incarnation and stuff like that. I don't know, it's different than that. And now I know who a few of these different people are. And so Bashar, he is one I was talking about the other day, and I can't remember who. I just saw the name of the channeler guy. Bashar, I guess, is who he's channeling. I don't know who Bashar is. And I can't remember who his name is, but he reminds me also of what is that guy's name? Krypton? There's another one. And they just remind me of each other. They just seem kind of I don't know, cut and dried or something. And I'm not sure. It's not judgmental. I don't know. Like, there's a few, because even when I hear Abraham Hicks, sometimes when I'll have a video pop up of that, because I don't follow her, and when I'll hear her, I'll even feel like, man, she's kind of like, some of the people just seem like they're just kind of fed up. Like, okay, you're not listening. You're not getting what I'm saying. And I was like, but nobody can get what you're saying unless they're on your wavelength. Like, it's like you're talking gibberish. You're just saying words, and they'll decipher the words to their understanding. And so, but anyways, I think there's going to be a lot of shifts under the spiritual realms of stuff. Like, I don't know if some of these more advanced, or these channelers that have been talking for a long time, I don't know if they'll continue, or if it'd be like new ones coming in or something. I don't know. Because to me, when I hear them, all three of them, I talking, I always feel like, man, they're kind of like a little harsh. I don't know. Maybe I come across as harsh. I don't know. It's all by, perception. It's how you perceive. And, and it's based on your own life experiences. So other people may not see them at all as being that way. I just do. But, what was it? I had just seen, I didn't even, I sometimes when I'll see their videos and I'll hear something that they'll say, I don't sit and listen to the whole thing, because it'll just be like, okay, I can't, whatever their stuff is, I can't have it interfering with mine. Like, I can't start questioning their stuff that they're saying and try and understand it on their level, because they're there to understand it on their level so they can express it to the people who understand them. And, we just have, where there's so many people, and there's like less channelers. So there's less people talking on the wavelength that everyone can understand. So everyone's trying to force their understanding, but there's tons. And I think there's going to be tons more, that are out there going to be talking. And it's only going to be kind of temporary anyways, because each person has their own guidance. Each person just has to turn on their own, but it will be kind of like they will have to see more and more people doing it so that they can start understanding. And maybe it's just the energy too. The more and more people will be doing it, and energetically, just everybody will start. But I think it is going to be, there's going to be more information, not less, not just like 3 people out there in the world trying to help people figure out what this world is. I know there's more than 3, but anyways, I see certain ones get shared a lot. So, and also what I saw yesterday In California, there was 2 earthquakes. There was like a 5.5 and a 4.7 or something over by San Francisco. And that is where that one time traveler said, Friday, I think it was supposed to be Friday, was going to be the big tsunami or something in San Francisco. Maybe it was supposed to be Wednesday. I don't remember now. But see, the thing is, even if there's time travelers or whatever coming and telling us stuff, there's still this whole manipulation with time. So who knows, maybe it won't happen on the exact day. Like, how can we think if these people are going, they're still a part of this system and they're coming back from it to try and tell people, then, they're not coming back from the age of Aquarius. I have not heard one single time traveler come back from the age of Aquarius. The only time I hear about those, there's in the QHHT things. Where the time travelers come back, they always are coming back from some dystopian future. And so, are they, I don't know. Are they coming to warn of the future they went into? And, who knows? Who knows if all of this stuff will even understand it all? Like, I don't know, but it could be off on the dates. The disasters are going to come in, whether they come in on the exact dates that somebody says or whatever, they're still coming in. There's nothing to get away from that. Even, where people sit there and talk about timelines and stuff. That's what I saw that Bashar guy this morning talking about. He was trying to explain timelines. And he was explaining about the part that I watched him say is that all things are available. So you have, so you come to a fork in the road and you have 2 different choices and you can go this direction or you go that direction and you choose this direction. And so, but this direction is already created because you already thought of it. It already promoted, it already had made itself out there. So that one became available. So what he's saying is that because you don't put the energy into it, that it just becomes like a stationary, like it just becomes like a photo that doesn't move. What did he call it? The thing that used to, before digital, when we would take pictures, my face is peely. Not as bad as what I would have thought though, but it's kind of, it's hard not to. The negative. So it's kind of like a negative, it's like an imprint or something that has no life to it. So that is what he is saying. To me, the way I understand it is whatever you're focused on. That is the reality that your consciousness is understanding. And so no other reality is occurring that you're not focused on. So even if you were living, 1,000 lives right now, like, Kelly is living, not Kelly, but there's my being has got, a whole bunch of incarnations happening at once, then it would be for them, they would be able to see them all. So the higher, and then that is what I was saying, like the other day when I was saying about like that jewel in the window with all those facets on it. I'm pretty sure that's what it's called. I keep saying like, the facet, the cut facet things in the diamond or whatever. And so this crystal jewel thing, and it has all these facets, but the way the light was hitting, how each one was mirroring something. And it was so cool. But that, to me, so that jewel would be the higher self, and each surface, each facet is an incarnation that it is experiencing at once, because it doesn't have to just focus on one thing. That is what we're doing in our consciousness. But we can get to the point through connection to our higher self, through disconnection of the alternate reality, this fake reality thing, this game, you can, you can not attach, I guess attach to your higher self. So then you could go into experience or meditation or remember. But I swear there's only a certain, it's not like, I could sit here and I'm also, living a life as a little boy in Ireland somewhere or something. And, maybe I would get flashes of some experience or something, or maybe something would come in a dream. And, but I wouldn't, it's not like I could just, there could be some people who are so masterful, they could just go sit in meditation and focus on any life that they wanted and go into that experience. It's all by our skills. And then you got to think about well, why does it matter? Why do I need to do that? Do I need to do that to prove to myself that this exists? Do I need to do that to prove to myself my own skills? Because actually the thing that you need to focus on is the here and now, the life that you're involved in, the life you're experiencing, because that is the one that you are learning about. So it's your consciousness experience is your focus. But if you take that focus out of that experience and you focus it on something else, and this is what, I have that I do all the time. And where people say it's like focusing on the 5D or 4D or whatever, it is it is like coming out of, it doesn't mean like I've left the world, that I've left the avatar. It just is where I focus my intent, my energy. And so you can focus, even if you're painting or you're creating or whatever, the space and time changes as everything that you do. It aligns into what it is you're doing. So it's not even the same space and time. Like I've said so many, when I'm driving, it trips me out because it's like a different space and time in your car than it is outside of your car. And it's trippy because it can seem like 15 minutes has passed, but it's only been like one. It's just weird stuff like that with time and how you focus and what you pay attention to. And so it is like what he's saying with that negative reality that didn't come to life is because it is kind of like all of the possibilities that are created, but you can't focus on all the possibilities. So you can't make them all alive. You can't give them all life. You can only give life to the thing that you're doing at the time. And so, each thing, but you could change. It's not like you can change, because what was it? I heard him say something where I was like, and that's where I've always got to be like, no, because of the reality of, okay, so if you're focused, I got to think of what it was. Maybe I'm not even supposed to say, maybe that's being judgmental of somebody else's understanding. But there's a lot of different ways to understand things. It's not just through one or two people. There is, and the more that you focus on your understanding, the more you'll understand it the way you need to understand it. But it's like I wanted to say this thing. I gotta see it all the way. Is so the focus on the experience, and when you come into to focus on that experience and to grow from that one. And then if you switch and you start looking at because he was saying something about like you could just switch or something. And I was like, to me, there's so much about destiny and about your stuff it's written. It isn't like, this is something I see people talk about so much, and it's like, this is not in my understanding at all. It is not in what they've been teaching me. It's not in what they've been showing me. And yeah, it goes by what my own experience is about, and they try and help me to understand and stuff like that. But it still goes with everything else to me. Is it's not just a personal one, but everything is contracted. You come in with these people to go through the experience, to go through the game together, and at different points different people leave the game, but you can't just all of a sudden switch the game. It had to always have the switch. The thing was always going to occur. It's a part of the script, because otherwise, how do these souls come in to interact with you? That is chaos. That is not. There is a structure to our universe. Just like this was really cool, because this was a picture where it was somebody was showing like a negative of a tree, and then it showed a x-ray of a lung, and it was like the yin and the yang, and it was like the exact picture, only one was the negative and one was the picture. That's what it looked like. And so the tree, as it branches out, it looks the same as the membranes and stuff inside of our lungs as it branches out, and they work together because the trees give us air, and it's almost like we have a tree inside of our lungs that are absorbing the air. And that is like this micro macro of existence of everything is representative of everything else. Like I don't know if I'm ever saying it right, but I thought that lung picture x-ray thing was really cool. And but all of the things that you come in to experience it's set up ahead. What you're going to learn, it is all written. It's like it is if you think about being in the heavens with your friends, you guys are writing the stories, and then you go in to play the part, and it is, it's so, because you think of it like being like cumbersome or something, because you think of it a bit about being flesh and blood, and we got to go sit down, then we got to write out this whole thing, then you got to write out a script, then you got to do, it's not like that. It is more, it's the same thing. Like if you think about, if you ask AI something, people do this all the time. They ask AI something and it can answer you immediately. That is like what we are. We are advanced. So when we want to come up with a scenario to come in and learn with our friends, and it is like the writing of the script isn't like, we're all sitting around a table trying to figure out like, what are we going to do? How are we going to do it or something? It's like, it is like a thought. It's a creation of a thought, which creates the thing immediately, which then it is like the storyline is created, and then you watch yourself in the storyline. So it's kind of like if you were sitting here at night and you're like, okay, so tonight I'm going to dream about blah, blah, blah. I'm going to go here. I'm going to go there. I'm going to go do this in your dreams. And then, you just thought of it, and then you just went to sleep, and then you witnessed yourself in the dream doing the things. So it's kind of like that. It's not like you have to sit around for weeks or months, and remember, time isn't even the same anyways, and figure out storylines and, your script, because everything that is said is already said. It's like the story's already written. It's like you don't have any choice but to play the story out. And when I hear all these people saying things, I'm just like, man, what a frustrating way to live. Because they think that they can go in and control it. They can make what they want to have happen. And yesterday I put on this old movie called The Sure Thing. It had Nicolette Sheridan in the movie, only it was old. I mean, this is like John Cusack his voice hadn't even changed yet. His voice was really high in the movie. And Nicolette Sheridan, she looked like a surfer girl with a perfect body. And she's so attractive. And that's her whole part. That's it. That is the part. To just play this attractive girl in a swimming suit that he wants to go, a sure thing. And so I was like, okay, for one thing, we have girls that will line up to play those parts because they need, a million people to say, like, you're hot, man. You're hot. You look good. You look good in swim. They, like, need that. They want posters of themselves. So they are needing that so much. Is that admiration or something, acknowledgement, attention, whatever it is. And so you get girls line up, will take those parts all day long. Oh, I got to take off my swimsuit top, big deal. They want to be seen as beautiful and sexy. And then they put them in these movies just, it's absolutely no reason for some of this stuff. And but to me, when I saw that, because this was the opening thing of this movie, and I was like, oh my gosh, this is how they set all these girls up, these young girls. And this movie would have been back in the 80s. I think maybe the 70s. I'm pretty sure it would have been the 80s. I don't know. Maybe it was the 90s. Fuck, I don't know. I think John Cusack, for him to be so young, and his voice hadn't even changed. And Nicolette Sheridan, she ended up being a lot different than she looks in this movie. And so let me think what I was going to say. So, because then when they put those girls out there, so they put this girl, I don't know, I would guess she's like 5'6", very smallish kind of frame. Maybe she's 5'5". She could be 5'4". She looks a little taller than that. But small frame. And, I don't know how much she eats. She was young. So, but the thing is that they put that on. And then this really small string bikini and white. You bet your ass that, when the girls saw this movie, I bet you there was so many white swimming suits on the beaches. But every girl ran out and bought themselves a white swimming suit. There had been girls that were over the toilet puking every single meal because they wanted to have that same little body. And the thing is this is what is the problem with the people, is the people want to conform or become this other thing. Like they think that they can, and then they become frustrated. Because even a girl who is 5'6", who is a larger build, the frustration that she has to go and try and be like this other girl, because that's all they're doing is marketing that is what they're marketing, the frustration for these girls, and the money that they'll pay to, I'm sure there was lots of girls who probably went and bleached and permed their hair because she had bleached permed hair. And so I'm sure there's lots of girls who tried to do that hairstyle. Just think about when Jennifer Aniston did the hair, when she changed her hair in Friends. And everybody ran out and got that hairstyle. And some people look good in it and some people didn't look good in it. But you see that all the time where people are trying to assimilate, keeps coming into my mind. So I don't know if that's the right word or whatever, but they keep trying to assimilate somebody else's presence rather than to create their own. And then the frustration behind it, it's the same thing as what I've talked about before, when people are out there trying to make this certain thing happen, which I did just saw another guy who was saying about, you got to realize that it is your guides are telling you your future. They're showing you, if you're paying attention, they're showing you, they're telling you, they're giving you signs, they're preparing you. And that is what I'm saying too. I agree with that guy, that is what is going on, is that you are, because that's what I had noticed in my own life. And that they tell you shit, and you question something and they'll tell you. And so, the thing that's going on, like, I just know I'll be able to talk so much more about it when it gets to the part where they tell me that it's going to be, because it's still in the action phase. I haven't gotten to that part of it. When I get to that part of it, then I'll be able to tell about all the things that led up to it, and it will make a lot more sense. But, like I said, you got to have the ending to have it make sense. And so at this point, I can just say this is, what I do. And to me, that they tell you, and the thing that people get confused over is trying to make their own. Like, there's so many girls that think like, oh, well, if I just lose weight, I could have my body look like that. No, everybody's body's totally different. Everybody's body is its own thing. You can't make yourself look like somebody else. But that's the whole reason they put those girls on there like that. It's just to sell the swimming suits, sell the hairstyle. It is like a giant fucking commercial in the movie. It is just to sell. Sell a lifestyle, sell a look. That's all they're doing all fucking time. And but so many insecure girls for so long, because this is older, this has been going on for so long, and they go in and they try and change themselves into that other person, and then they just become frustrated. Like, just think about how many girls you've seen over time who go and wear an outfit that looks horrible on them, just looks horrible. It doesn't fit their body style, nothing, but they put it on because they think it's a cute outfit and it looked good on that other girl. So, they're going to wear it, and they think, well, it's going to look good, on me because it's a cute outfit. But that's not how it works. How it works is, a girl puts on an outfit that suits her, and then it's so cute that everybody wants to do that, assimilate that same style. But what it is your own body style has its own stuff that looks really cute on you. But, if you're trying to look cute like somebody else, then you're going to be trying to wear their stuff, and it's not going to fit you, and you're going to look, like you could look so much better, but you're trying to have somebody else's look. And so that goes on all the time. I have seen so many, through the years, of girls putting on outfits that are just horrible on them because they think it's a cute outfit and it looked good on somebody else. And it's like, you got to dress to your own body style. You got to work with your own hair. You got to work with your own eyebrows. You got to work with your own mouth. You got to work with your own bits, and then you do what's the best for them. Like, you can still go and be your best self. You can still get in your best shape. You can still take the best care of your hair, or whatever your thing is. You can, go try on clothes. Don't just go and get an outfit because you think it's a cute outfit. Go try on clothes and find clothes that really look good on you, because everybody's body style has a certain style of clothes that really look good on them. And find what is your best stuff. Don't try and assimilate. Word just keeps coming in my head. Or mimic somebody else's look. Is you, it's you. And you are the one that you're supposed to be, it's your avatar, and it's your Barbie to play with. So it's for you to, go in and figure out like all this stuff, what it looks best in, and what you're comfortable in and stuff. So, that is just, that to me is like what that girl was talking about when she was talking about the Sims game, because that is, where you can start finding peace and feeling good about yourself. But you have, it's like you got to focus on yourself. You got to step up the game and, there's a thing to becoming your best self, not somebody else's best self. Not, but everybody has their own best self. So, anyways, I feel like I've said that enough times. There was some more stuff though. I keep having these different videos coming in my head. So in Texas, there's a bunch of old, I don't know, old bases or something in there. They're like prisons. They've got fences up. They've got barbed wire all over the top. They're all set up and stuff. And they're bussing in all these people. They're bringing across. Only they're only taking in certain ones. They're not taking the women and kids. And then they're all of the men are a certain age. That has a lot of people very concerned. Because a lot of people think, like, and I don't know how far it's going to go. You know, I mean, there could be some battles that are going to go on in Texas. There could be some battles that are going to go on in all these different places. I mean, we got natural disasters. We've got, tension for sure. Like the people, like there's so many people that are just so on edge. There's so, I saw this video. This is so strange. This is like, it's so strange. I don't know what the hell with these people. Like, I thought it was bad enough when I was hearing these women out there fighting for their rights to remove fetuses from their uterus. Didn't have their permission to be there. Well, you had sex, and that's what happens when you have sex. Maybe you should work on your birth control or something. But, why should they have to do that? I mean, so, I mean, the stuff that I heard women say at that one, it was just like, what the fuck, man? And then now there's this video going around, and who knows how many, because somebody's saying this is a new thing with these young parents. Like, and I tell my kids too, because they think like all us old boomers, we destroyed the planet. Luckily, we've got these young ones. They're coming in, fixing things. It's like, y'all just don't know what you broke yet. Like, what? And so this is one of those things to me. It's like, it's just showing a baby. Just this video is just this infant laying on a bed. And it's not like, I mean, you can make eye contact. I don't know how old it is. Maybe it looks a little bit like, my two grandsons. So like around, I would say he's not even 6 months old. I would say more like 4 months old. And so it's laying on the bed. And so you can just hear the mom talking. Is the mom talking to the baby is telling it, it's not allowed to touch her belly button. You're not allowed to touch her. You're not allowed to touch me unless I say you can touch me. Don't reach up here and touch my belly button. Don't touch me. When I say you can touch me, you can touch me. And I mean, it's this whole thing of, and it is a movement about, I don't know, trying to teach babies boundaries, that they don't have the rights to their mom, although that is part of a baby's development, is to be attached to the mom. Like my one daughter, who is the one that's the 6-month-old, they're both always reading stuff and everything, and she said that I don't remember what age, but it's up to a certain age, the baby thinks it is a part of the mom. It thinks it's attached to the mom. And so you got these moms, apparently, who are telling the child that, telling the baby has no rights to touch them and stuff. That is like that makes no sense. Like, what are you doing this for? Like, and why would you go have a baby if you weren't ready or willing to do what it takes to nurture and care for this child? I mean, this is this whole wacky movement, like babies can be gay, apparently. Now, Target, like I've seen so many videos talking about the new Target line. It's absurd. I've seen people going in to Target, getting the clothes off the racks and showing them and say, it's absurd. It is absurd. Like, I swear to God, when my kids were little, what were on their clothes? Like, little cutesy things. Like, I don't know. There'd be mermaids or little trucks or something like that. Now it's all, like, gay slogans and Everything has got to have, rainbows. It's like, what are they pushing so hard for there to be gay kids? And then why is there so many parents who are all about it? It's like, to me, that's the group of parents that would be going into that dystopian future and then coming in the future, coming back from the future and saying, hey, bad stuff's about to happen. Yeah, we know. You're just not paying attention or something. But to me, it is like, so they want the kids to be, talking about gayness from the time that they can speak. And it's in cartoons, it's in everything. And their whole push, and you got to think, like, why? Why are all these corporations pushing? It's because they all work together. It all goes together. The pharmacy, all of the whole group is the system. And they want kids to, not procreate. They want us to just, stop. And when we do, they want us to have babies in labs. So they want people to just go have, all relationships, all women with women, which is doing real good on that one. Oh my God, I cannot believe so many women just get frustrated with men and now they decided they're lesbian. Okay, I don't think that's what it's all about. I think a lesbian is somebody who is attracted to women from the start. They're attracted to women, whatever the reason may be. We could dissect it. And it's, like all science and all hypothesis, there's going to be a multitude of perspectives. Like it's endless, the hypothesis of every single thing. And so, you just change one thing and you got to see, does it still do the same thing? So anyways, there's no way to know, like, every single woman, why it is that they would end up being gay. It can have to do with their soul. It could have to do with abuse. It could have, like, whatever the situation. But all these grown-ass women who are deciding they're gay because men are assholes. And one thing, too, is that all these people are basing these judgments on the genders of the other gender due to their own toxic relationships. It's like, not every man is bad. You're just being with the ones that aren't right for you. You're trying to force a relationship with somebody who's not in alignment with you. And so many people, I saw, I'm always talking smack on dating because I think it's ridiculous. I think what is meant for you will come to you. I don't think you have to go out and go through all these dating to find your person and stuff. But I was watching a John Cusack movie. That's how I saw the shirt thing, because I was watching the dog Must Love Dogs, and I didn't even know why that movie had come into my mind. But then when I was watching it, I was like, oh, the dating thing when she's going and doing these dates, and she had talked to her dad and stuff, and he was doing stuff. But anyways, it was just trying to find themselves, trying to have fun and find themselves, not taking it real serious. And, like, I'm trying to find a life partner. No, it's just like, oh, I'm going to see, like, maybe I want to go out and do surfing. So I'm going to go out with some surfers. Maybe I'm going to go out and I want to do this or that or whatever. And I thought, oh, okay, well, that makes sense. Then if you're just going out with trying to figure out who you are, then it has a purpose. But to just go out and try and find a mate, and that to me is that is not the way to do it. And all these people that go out and do that, and then they blame, like, oh, all the men are so toxic. Well, you're just not in alignment. And all these women, oh, I'm a lesbian now. I'm so many. And there's no way that anybody can say gay people are not accepted. Because, there can be people in people's families and stuff that don't accept them. But, over the overall general population, like, there's so many. Like, is such a regular thing now, especially women who have come from a lot of broken relationships. There's so many out there, like, now, that they're lesbians or whatever. But that is what they want to do. So they want us to fight and to argue and to not get along with the other species, or not species, the other sex, the other gender. And so that then, women are with women, men are with men. And then how do you have a baby if then you have to go to the lab. And that's what they want. They want to have all of the babies come from labs. They want us to not have, because then they can do all of their messing with it right in the lab without us even knowing. And who knows what the hell they're doing. Like, these people want to put, genetically mutants. They want to mutate all those, so I don't know. I don't want them, to me, all the way when I started talking to my kids about this whole thing. So like 2015 or 2016. And then I would just say all different things. Like sometimes I maybe would talk about the aliens, or sometimes I would talk about the event. Sometimes I would talk about the government doesn't have any right to charge us for things, and against human rights and all of that kind of stuff. And now, to me, it is that the things that I was saying to them, let me think what it was. It was something really specific that came into my head. And but I started saying it all that time ago. But nobody can hear what you're saying, and they don't understand what you're talking about, and until they see it for themselves. But that wasn't what I was going to say. It was something specific about what I was saying. I don't know. I can't think of it. It's I don't know. Sometimes I just gotta not give as much explanation or something, because then I always get off on my thing. That is that one girl that was talking about the Sims too. She did the same thing. She was like, as soon as you question something, it's like the channel is like you got to be really focused and listening when you're trying to hear and say it. It's so you got to really focus, and then as soon as you switch something or something, I don't know how to explain, but it is easy to get off of what, and then all of a sudden you're standing there. It's like, wait a minute, okay, I got to get back focused so I can hear again what it was that was being said. So, anyways, all I know is that there's a lot of stuff people have just got to get focused on themselves. Stop focusing on trying to be something they're not. What was that too? I've got so many of these just weird random things where it's just so many things, and that pop into throughout the day. And so they're sitting there kind of and so I can see them, and but not all of them can I get the whole thing from it still. But some of the stuff, man, I sometimes it's I need to just go around with a little recorder and say it right when they say it, because it's some of the stuff is so good. But then sometimes, like I said, I'm in this other state of mind where when I try and pull myself out of it, I can forget what it is, because it's you're being in a meditation and you're being told or shown things, and then you can sit there and be you think you're completely awake and talking and everything else, and then you got to pull out of there. And this is what I'm talking about with the 3D, 5D, or 4D, whatever. It is you're here, but your consciousness is in some other focus. So it's somewhere else. So it's, and through this stuff, as this stuff is going on, you start having other beings. It's the people who you're going to hang out with start coming and meeting up with you beforehand or something. I'm not sure. that'd be one of those things I would be able to explain more once I see the other side. There's so many things where it's like, what's next? What's next? And, just like right now, it's Monday morning. Now it's after 7. So the East Coast is already, the banks would already be opening. It would be like 10 o'clock there. So we should start hearing if there's going to be, stuff. Hopefully it's going to be this week, because I still think by the end of this month, I think in June, May's going to crash, and this is, I'm really playing a game here with these people too, with the money thing. And, are they going to try and take the house away from me? If they do, I'm just going to be like, okay, well, I'm not supposed to be here then, because nothing can happen that's not supposed to happen. So if I was going to lose the house, I was always going to lose the house. It isn't because of what I'm doing by not paying. That would have been, me not paying was always going to happen. And that would have always been the thing that I lost the house. Like, all those things play out, but they're just, it's different when you get to the end of it and you see it. When you're going through it, you don't know. And so I don't know, but I have to do what is my internal guidance. And my internal guidance is not going to support this system of corruption. And so the most I can pull free, and, if that is that they're going to take the house away from me, then they're going to take another house away from me. And then I'm not going to stress out about it like the first time. Oh my gosh, the first time that was the hardest. I don't think that they're going to. I think that I'm going to win this time. I think it's going to go full circle, and I'm going to win, and I'm going to get to keep my house and fight the bad guys. But their stuff is going to collapse before they can collapse mine. But, that's the game that we're playing here, is like, who's going to win first, or who's going to fall first, or whatever. It is such a game. Oh, what was that too? Yeah, because it was, that person was talking about the mastery. It is a completely different mastery of the game when you know what the game is. And you are challenging the game, like knowing what it is that I'm here for, knowing what it is that I want, knowing all of those things. But also, though, I know that manifesting isn't just that creation of that. It isn't just, is different. It is, manifesting is being able to, manifesting is like, it's like a few different things, but it's just the way I hear people talking about manifesting. It's like, that's not how I understand manifesting, especially through the stuff that I've been going through, is because they have told me and shown me, like, this is what you're going to be doing. And then if you don't trust that, then you are not manifesting. You're still manifesting. You're just not manifesting your best timeline. You are manifesting to learn about that. I don't even know if I'm making sense. Like, okay, I've already been talking hours. Sometimes it just feels like, I don't know, my brain melts or something. And, but there was a couple other things I wanted to say. Hey, because there was the stuff going on at the border. There's the stuff going on with the food, the parasites, the weather, the disasters, the people. It just is like, it's like the same energy. But there's just like the same things being said, only more people saying them. So it's like more people waking up to the same kind of things. So there's more people saying the same things. So energetically, that's a good sign. As more people are seeing, more people are waking up. And even though, I wish that they would, be talking about stuff that was further ahead, but it's still like, we are where we're at. So, if there's still, talk about the election, like whatever, I don't know how long all this stuff has got to drag out to be done with. So, but there is some more stuff that keeps like trying to come in, but I just can't see it clear. I can't see it all the way. So anyways, I don't even know if I said anything that, but to me, just, you know, the whole thing is just focusing on yourself and trying to really understand yourself and do your growth, your healing. And it is, those are the demons. Oh, I just saw this guy too. He was talking about, he was trying to teach people how to do astral projection. And he was saying, he was going through this whole thing, and then you're going to lucid dream, then you pull yourself out. And he said, when you pull yourself out, you know, using your chest to pull up. I've heard a lot of people, like astral travelers, they'll say, you know, go from your chest and then pull yourself out of bed, roll yourself off the bed, but from your chest. So you're pulling your soul out, like all these different ways. But so he was saying how to do it. And he said, and when you first come out, you're going to see all these shadow people. Those are your attachments. Just punch them and tell them, get the fuck out. It's like, that is what I keep trying to tell people. It is your attachments, but that's not, there's shadow people too. I mean, you got the watchers, there's shadow people all around us. There's, you know, we're in an energetic world, and the only ones that is the players in the game are the ones that are lit up, like that we can see, because they're the players in the game. But the shadow people, but you do have all those attachments. And I just thought that's funny, because then when you come out and you see them, because that's the thing, is people are in their bodies and they don't realize that you have these attachments, and they're talking to you, talking shit to you. And it isn't necessarily like they're just trying to talk shit to you and beat you down. They just want to keep you where they have you, where your relationship started. You were insecure, you were down, or whatever, that pulled them in, and they want you to stay there. And so that is why you have to fight your attachments, is because they will keep you in that same state of mind. You have to fight against them, even when they're kind and loving and in there, you know, that they saved you, look what they've done for you and stuff. You still have to part ways if you want to grow. You know, you have to, you have to send them away. They have to go. Well, I was always telling that girl who was here, she's in Spokane still. She's still wanting to, you know, just move out and get a place with her friends. So, you know, it seems like, I mean, the kids from the system are going to be struggling until the system comes in to clean up its mess. And that is going to be different. It's not going to be the system doing it, but there's going to be a way to, you know, to help people get on track, because the system has affected so many in such a negative way. It's, you know, it's shameful. But anyways, when I was talking to her about hers, because hers was so big, man. It was so big, and it was so what is that, controlling of her. I know it was back there just beating her down all the time, you know, keeping her isolated. It will sit there and tell you, you know, oh, you don't want to talk to them. They don't want to talk to you anyways. They don't like you. Nobody really likes you. You know, it has a way of talking to you, and those certain ones. And so it will beat you down. It will keep you feeling isolated. It will keep you feeling like, oh, yeah, nobody wants to talk to me. God, jeez, I'm going to hold it. Like every time you open your mouth, they'll tell you, oh my God, that was so stupid. Like, it depends on your attachment, but that's the kind of shenanigans that they'll do, is just keep you beat down feeling. And so it's you who has to start going like, wait a minute, this is some bullshit. Quit sitting there. You got to acknowledge the voice, and then battle it back up against it and tell it, shut up. Go. You need to go. You need to move on. You need to get out of here. And, you know, I don't want to hear this negative stuff. I want, you know, you got to talk to it just like you would, you know, like an abusive parent. And, you know, I'm going to go after this. I'm seeing all these different, you know, spiritual people who have their accounts, who have been out talking, and then they started really going through it. And the one who I said, who, you know, is out talking about she's an Anunnaki princess and all that stuff, and that she had taped her mom, and she's going through it right now. Like, she's really going through it. She's having a really hard time. And that the thing is that the people don't realize, like, you know, she said that hers started on Mother's Day. So she's hating her mom. Her mom's so toxic, so horrible. But then she has to face the fact that she's been a horrible, toxic mom to her kids because of what she's put her kids through. And that is the thing. So you're just going to focus on your mom is just the worst. She's the worst. You know, I could have been a better person if my mom wasn't the worst. And instead of being like, oh, you know, because the way I see it is that we're here to learn in this generation. It's not just I'm here to learn my lessons. We're here to learn bigger lessons, and that we're connected through these generational ties. And so to me, the person is there to learn and experience and grow from the other people. So you learn because you can see how I affected my kids. And so I can learn from that. And then, you know, and I can, you know, try and assist them, telling them things, but, you know, they're going to do what they want to do, and they'll affect their kids, and then they'll have to learn from that. And then, you know, that will keep going until we start coming together and start really acknowledging one another's information or our perspectives and stuff like that. It's just so funny because that just popped into my mind too, is my one daughter just telling me this weekend about that I have such strange perspective. I have such strange opinions on stuff. It's like, yeah, but you want to have people around you who have strange opinions. You want to have as many odd opinions as possible so you can form your own opinions. You want to just have like ones that fit in the box. You know, you want to have, you know, look at things in a weird way and stuff. So anyways, the you know, the attachments, they can be big, they can, you know, be huge, the shadow beings or whatever. To me, it's just your attachments, the things that people think are like demons and stuff like that. So to me, just start talking to them, telling them to go, start acknowledging them. It may not be so easy as just like you all of a sudden notice that somebody in your head is saying something rude to you, and you're sitting there like, yeah. And then all of a sudden it's like, wait a minute, no, I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to think that. I'm not going to say that. And then you say you catch it, and then you tell them, no, you speak back to them and tell them. And then, you know, the conversation, it may not be like you can just quickly do a clearing and, you know, pull out your sage and tell them, go away, get out of here, because you are attached. It's attachment. It is like you have things in your energy that the two of you, the two energies have attached. So you've got to figure out what are you attached? Where are you attached? How do you let go of that? How do you push them back out and on their way? So you've got to release the attachments, which you do through the healing, and you acknowledge and you see the things that you have that are broken, and they'll sit there and say stuff while you're doing that. And you've got to be able to have the discernment to recognize their voice and stuff, and then you can speak back to them and tell them, you know, you got to go. You talk to them just like, you know, you don't have to be mean, because they're not trying to be mean. They're just trying to survive, and they're trying to help you survive because you needed them to survive at one point. So they're there for your survival. So you don't have to talk mean to them. I mean, you know, I say, you know, to some people, I talk mean to my guides and stuff. I'm just real. The thing is, you just got to be you. You got to be real. You got to be authentic. And then there isn't, like, your guides know if you're pretending to be somebody different than you are. So just be real and talk to them. I mean, you've been talking to them through your life and you just don't realize it. So anyways, just letting go of the darkness that is attached to people, and becoming more aware and discerning the different voices, and focusing on your best self and healing you, and just becoming your best self. Because I'm telling you, when somebody is their best self, and then they go in and they put on the outfit that suits them. They're wearing the hair that suits them. Their body is, they're taking good care of it. They're shining and stuff. It doesn't matter if you're 5'6" and petite, or if you're 6'1" and you're 200 pounds or something. It doesn't matter. It is, you shine when you are your best self. There's not a perfect way to be. Like, if you could just be that, then you'd be perfect. No, you're perfect once you become in alignment with your perfection. Once you become into peace with who you are, and you shine when you start, waving the flag of you out there to show who you are and love yourself. And, your guides and stuff will acknowledge that. Your relationship with them will grow. You will become more familiar. You can talk to them how you want. You don't have to, have a schedule a meeting with them or something. You can talk to them just like you talk to anybody else. So if you do, or are somebody who's just like, oh, fuck off, don't talk to me that way, like me, then that is how you do it. But you could be, totally different, because we're all different. So whoever and whatever you are, your guides know you well. You are just learning to get to know yourself. So anyways, I'll talk to you later. Bye.